Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field as we're into Babe Ruth, 13-year-old pool play. This is Lynn against Danvers. Lynn trying to get above 500. Anthony Awumi on the mound. Ty Gonzalez, the center fielder for Danvers. Danvers is 2-0. Lynn is 1-1. This is pool play leading up, trying to get qualifying for the state tournament. Trying to move from here to the regional, state, regional, then national if you can. Lynn team did it a few years ago. Popped up. Pitcher calling everybody off, and he can't make the play. That's the best play is for the third baseman. Pitcher went way out of his way. I think the coach would come on and tell him, get out of the way and let your fielders do the work. That was an easy play for the third baseman. This misses for a ball. Hit the second right off the wickets. Gonzalez is going to reach on the error. Looked like an easy out. Turns out the runner at first base. Aaron Rodgers, the first baseman, will be the hitter for Danvers. High and tight for a ball. Awumi, the pitcher, has to be. I'm taking a wild stab, but has to be involved in the outstanding basketball players. And Bella, one of the young ladies, is also a very good softball player. Got to be a relative. In for a strike. They're not using the scoreboard tonight. I don't know why. Missing inside. I'm surprised the runner hasn't stole second base. This is brand new for these young guys. This is the first year they've gone off the Little League field and gone on to the full diamond. And that's a huge difference. Instead of running 60 feet to first base, you run 90 feet. That makes it 120 feet longer from home plate all the way around. The outfield has to play a little bit deeper, and there's no fence behind them. Trying to check the swing and fouled it off. For the pitcher, long distance from the mound to home plate. For the catcher, a long throw to second base. Not a lot of 13-year-olds can make that throw with something on it to try and catch somebody stealing. High for a ball. They throw it down, but Gonzalez got back easily. Also for the pitcher now, Little League, you don't worry about the runner at first base. The runner can't leave until the ball crosses home plate, I think is the rule in Little League. But now the runner at first can get a lead, can get off the bag. So the pitcher has to pitch from the stretch. Now the runner takes off. The ball's hit in the air. Third baseman makes the play, and they're going to get a double play. Runner took off to steal. He was well down to second base. Lynn turns the double play. I think part of the reason you see, when you watch baseball, and you see a lot of pitches pitching from the stretch. Ground ball is short, the throw is low. Second error in the inning. That was Jack L'Italian, the catcher, reaching on that error. David Abramovich is the pitcher, and he'll be the hitter. But I think one of the reasons you see a lot of pitches, whether it's the pros, college, high school, here at Babe Ruth, see the pitchers pitching from the stretch because they have to do that to keep the runners at first base. You learn that straight out of Little League. Quickly 2 strikes. So you don't see a lot of pitching now with total, complete windup. Hit off the pitcher's glove. Awumi stays with it and makes the play. So 2 errors in the inning doesn't help Danvers at all. One was doubled off, the other one was left at first base. So Lynn gets out of the inning unscathed.
Right?
The other rule in this, especially here in Babe Ruth, and all the Babe Ruth sections, is you don't have a designated hitter. What you have is an extra hitter. So the teams bat 10. You don't have to, but everybody does to give somebody else a chance to play. So that's another rule that's different from high school and Dave Abramovich on the mound, throwing to Jack L'Italian behind the plate. Dante Duval will be the first hitter. Takes the pitch for a strike. Tall young man on the mound. David Abramovich. 2 quick strikes. Pops it up and scooting in at second base and making the play is T.J. O'Keefe. So a little excuse me swing, pops it up to the second baseman. For the first out, the pitcher, Anthony Awumi, will be the hitter. Up and away for a ball. Swing and a miss. Chase the high pitch. Nice night here at the ballpark. Not a cloud in the sky. Up and away for a ball. The count evens at 2. That might have been ball 3, but he chased it. There's a little bit of a crowd here. A few people from Danvers, a few people from Lynn. Popped up. Short left field. Shortstop going back. Again, that's a play for the left fielder. Shortstop got in the way and it drops in for a base hit for Owumi. Shortstop tried to make the catch going away from home plate. Left fielder was right there, coming to the ball. So Owumi gets a base hit. Cole Dobbins will be the hitter. Taps it back to the mound. They get 1. They get 2. So both teams turn a double play. Oh, nicer. 1 to 6 to 3. So they get a base hit, but only 3 hitters go to the plate. And we're right back when we started at the end of 1. Dead even. Lynn, Danvers, nothing. Anthony Owumi will start his second inning of work. And he'll face Kenny Blake. The left fielder. Hit foul back. The count evens at 1. In for a strike. Yeah, call third strike. First strikeout by either pitcher. 1 up, 1 down in the second inning. T.J. O'Keefe, the second baseman, will be the hitter. Way up and away. And that one was way out. That went straight to the backstop. Dobbins, the catcher, had no chance to go get that one. Down and in for a ball. And it's ball 4. They better go get it because he can go to second base. So Keith draws a walk. First walk given up by either pitcher. Jake Ramsavage, the shortstop, is the hitter. Just got a tip and fouled it to the backstop. Pop foul up in the seats. Quickly, 2 strikes. Wide for a ball. Popped up. And that time the pitcher almost went for it, get out of the way. And he let Divert, the third baseman, make the play. Swing and a miss. Ted Hobart, the extra hitter for Danvers. One the count. St. Paul just missed the outside corner. Up and away for a ball. Hit to right field. Over the right fielder's head. That's going to bring a run in. They held him up. He was able to score easily. They held him up. And then they finally sent him home. So the extra hitter Hobart gets a double and RBI. Over the right fielder's head. O'Keefe drew the walk. The walk hurt. Comes around to score. And Danvers grabs a 1-0 lead. Hit right at the left fielder. The one-handed catch. That's Gavin Qantas lining out to the left fielder. And that's, I talk about it all the time, all the way from Little League to Babe Ruth to high school to college to pros, softball. Everybody catches one hand now. Two hands are going out the window. So Danvers gets a run with a base hit. The walk hurt. And Lynn will have to play catch-up now as we move into the bottom of the second inning. So Abramovich on the mound has been staked to a 1-0 lead. It'll be Tristan Divert, Jack Nardone, Caleb Morin, the three hitters for Lynn here in the second inning. Sun is a little bright, but the only one that's bothering on the field, it might just be the first baseman a little bit. But if you're sitting in the stands, if you look to your left, you get blinded. So 4, 5, and 6 for Lynn as we start the second inning. Down away for a ball. It's an important game for Lynn. They're 1-1. A loss would make it very difficult to move up and become eligible for the state tournament. Hit in the air, left fielder going back, still going back. Makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Nice play by Kenny Blake. Divert hit it well. Blake tracked it down. One out, one up, one down in the second inning. Jack Nardone, the right fielder, is the hitter. In for a strike. Good fastball there by Abramovich. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. Wide for a ball. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Abramovich. Caleb Moran, the left fielder, is the hitter. Wide for a ball. Chased that pitch that was up and away. Count evens at 1. Hit foul back up in the seats. Abramovich works very quickly. Just got a piece and stays alive. Fouls it to the backstop. Curveball broke late. Moran ducked under it. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit to third. They're going to let it go by. It skipped all the way into left field. Moran's got a 2-out single. Lynn gets their second hit. Bryson Jones, the extra hitter, swings and misses. Quickly 0-2. I thought this would be a game of running. I thought as soon as you get on, you'd be stealing. Call third strike. So he gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. He gives up the infield hit. Lynn leaves a base runner. We finished 2 in this 13-year-old Babe Ruth pool play. 1-0 Danvers over Lynn. 10-1-2 for Danvers. And I say 10-1-2 just in case you missed it. They have extra hitters, not a DH. Extra hitter. Pop foul back. This is Colby McLaughlin, the third baseman. Hit foul to the backstop. Didn't miss by much. Hit foul again. They're already running out of baseballs. They had to wait for the foul balls to be brought back. 2-2 the count. So McLaughlin leading off the third inning. Over but low. Took a good look at that pitch. That's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. And the count goes full. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Awumi. Top of the order. Ty Gonzalez, the center fielder, reached on an error. And he was part of the double play when he was stealing second. And they popped up to third and doubled him off. Decent little crowd, considering there was no publicity at all for this, and no coverage at all. Might have been a few more people here on a Monday night, if they knew about it. This is why the count goes 3-0. And that's ball 4. So Gonzalez is on for the second time. Second walk given up by Umi. The first walk scored the run. That's the difference in the game. Fishing wide for a ball. Picking him off, they throw the ball away, way down the right field line. They're going to keep going all the way to third base. So they try to pick him off, they threw it away. That's the third error. And that walk now turns into a runner at third base with one out. Threw it way over the first baseman, Ben Zukowski's head. And it went down the right field line. Gonzalez able to scoot all the way around to third. Hit. He hesitated. He was going to throw the ball home. Waited, and then bounced it to Zukowski. So another error. And Danvers grabs a 2-0 lead. McLaughlin started to throw the ball home, hesitated again, and then he decided to go to first base and he bounced it in the turf. The run scores. Aaron Rodgers reaches on the error, and this is Jack Latalian, the catcher, who reached on an error. They made 2 errors in the first inning. It didn't hurt them. They made 4 errors. And Umi has walked 2, and both walks have scored. A problem with the catcher's equipment. And they fixed it. They thought they fixed it, and now Danvers is going to give them a helmet to use. Now, I guess the Italian's saying that one doesn't fit properly. So they're waiting now to fix up Italian's helmet. They think they got it fixed. We'll see. It's okay. So we'll get back to baseball. Jack Italian, we mentioned the hitter reached on an error. So Lynn being very gracious host with 4 errors on the inside corner, first strike. Quickly 0-2. We mentioned Italian. Italian is the catcher. Awumi was set to throw. Italian asked for time and got it. Just as Awumi was coming forward to throw the ball. Down and in for a ball. That one hit the bat. The hitter, the Italian thought it hit him. It hit the bat. It's a foul ball. Look at the Danvers outfield. They're pretty deep, especially in right field. Danvers coach is going to question whether it hit the bat or him. And now they're going to check with the base umpire. I thought the gentleman was the closest to the play, made the play. So a long discussion. Everybody getting involved. And it stays a foul ball. 1-2 the count to Jack L'Italian. Just got a piece and kept it alive. Popped up. Nice play. The shortstop, Jake Rosevich. Ronzovich got a good jump, got to it, made the catch for the second out. David Abramovich, the runner was almost to second base before Awumi threw the ball. Now Abramovich does get hit by the pitch. So there's 2 on with 2 out. For Kenny Blake, who was called out on strikes, his one trip. So run in this inning, thanks to a big error. Up and away for a ball. And looking for more with first and second, but there's 2 outs. Up and away for a ball. Awumi was ready and he stepped off. Kenny Blake stepped out. Down and in. The runner takes off to go to third base. Safe, and now the runner will go to second. So the double steal. Rogers waited for the ball to be thrown back to the pitcher. He took off a third. And then Abramovich took off a second, so it's second and third. And that takes away the force at any base with the 2 outs. Now ground ball, they have to go to first. The 3-1 pitch. And that's ball 4. So a walk, an error, a hit batsman, a walk, have resulted in a walk and the bases loaded for T.J. O'Keefe, who was the difference in the game coming into this inning. He drew a walk and scored the 1 run, and now they almost threw that ball into left field. McLaughlin saved that from going into left field to throw from, looking to get the runner off at third. Up and away for a ball, 2-0. In for a strike. O'Keefe is the second baseman for Danvers. Hit into left center field for a base hit. A big 2-out hit by O'Keefe. He scored a run. Now he gets a big hit, knocking in 2. That stolen base was huge. The double steal will go along with 2 walks and an error in this inning and a hit batsman. And all of a sudden, three runs in the inning. Jake Rosenvich popped to the third baseman. That pitch was over his head. He was a couple of inches taller, would have hit him in the helmet. High for a ball. High for a ball again. Popped up. Second baseman a couple of steps to his right. Nate Ranahan makes the play, so he finally get out of the inning. Eight hitters come to the plate. A walk, 2 errors, a hit batsman, a walk, and then a big 2-out hit by O'Keefe. And all of a sudden it's 4-0 Danvers. They get those 3 runs on 1 base hit. Four errors in 3 innings. And Danvers says, thank you very much. So Lynn's got a hole they got to dig themselves out of. It'll be 8, 9, and 10. Ben Zukowski, Nate Ranahan, Dylan Martell to face Ambranovich. And once again, he's staked to a little bigger lead. He was staked to a 1-0 lead starting the second. Now he's staked to a 4-0 lead. And he helped himself getting hit by a pitch and scoring one of the 3 runs. Ben Zukowski, his father, Mike, is now an assistant coach at St. Mary's Girls Softball. He was a very good head coach at Lynn Classical, a very good athlete. Good guy, good friend. In for a strike. And now Mike helping the team at St. Mary's. He helped the team at Classical. Now he's getting involved in Babe Ruth, helping the young kids. Does an awful lot for the city. Good guy, giving back. In for a strike, quickly 1-2. Right down the middle for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, one to end the second, one to start the third. The last 3 outs have been strikeouts. Nate Ranahan, the second baseman, swings and misses at the first pitch. Popped up. Long run, bounces in for a base hit. Just over the first baseman's head, just past the infield into the turf in the outfield. Ranahan gets the third hit for St. Mary's. They've got to hit an inning.
Is that their third, John? I'll give it to Lonnie.
Missing for a strike. So they got to hit an inning. They're out hitting Danvers 3-2, but they're down 4-0. One of the hits is wiped out on a perfect 1-6-3 double play. Hit in the air to the shortstop. Had it, bobbled it, but they're going to get a force out at second base. The runner at first couldn't go. It looked like an easy play. Ronsovich went back. Looked like he had it easily and just dropped it. But the runner at first couldn't go anywhere. Hit in the air to left field, drifting over near the foul line. Blake makes the catch. So another base hit goes by the boards. They leave another base runner. They haven't got a runner as far as second base yet. We finished 3 in this 13-year-old Babe Ruth pool play. Danvers leading Lynn 4-0. 8, 9, and 10 for Danvers as we start the 4th inning. Ted Hobart got the first hit for Danvers following a walk. He doubled to right field, knocking in the first run. So he's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Reaches for that, taps it to the second baseman. Ranahan makes the play over to Zukowski. One up, one down quickly in the fourth inning. Gavin Quantos, the right fielder, hit it right on the nose, but hit it right to the left fielder. Drifting back, nice job by the catcher. Dobbins goes back and makes the play. Not an easy play for anybody. We watched during the Aganis games, which were seniors, that they didn't make that play. Hit in the air. It's going to drop in for a base hit. That was the third baseman, McLaughlin, with the base hit. So he extends the inning for Danvers. It brings up the leadoff hitter, Ty Gonzalez, who reached on an error and walked. He's been on base twice. To walk, he scored. He scored after he walked. They tried to pick him off. They threw it over the first baseman's head. We're going to get Cal Arlander running at first base for McLaughlin. I have to admit, I'm kind of surprised. I thought this would be automatic. Walk, a hit, you're on first base, it's a double. You steal second base. In for a strike. But they haven't been running as much. That one double steal was big for Danvers, followed by a base hit that scored 2 runs. And that's been it. Hit in the air to left field. Nice running, one-hand catch by Moran. Bobbled a little bit, but grabbed it. That's a nice play. Going to go a long way. So the hit doesn't do any damage. We're halfway through the ball game. Danvers leading it 4-0 over Lynn. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Lynn. Sun is dropping down a little bit. Still kind of a pain in the neck if you look to your left. Danvers got a walk followed by a double by Hobbs in the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. They erupted for 3. A walk, an error, a hit batsman, another walk, a double steal, and then a big 2-out, 2 RBI single by DJ O'Keefe. So he's knocked in 2 and scored 1. O'Keefe, he's been 75% of the offense for Danvers. Anthony Awumi got a kind of a gift single. The shortstop went back to make the play. The left fielder had the best play on the ball, and the left fielder gave way to the shortstop, and it dropped for a base hit. Swing and a miss twice. Quickly 0-2. Hit in the air, shortstop. makes the play. He almost overran. He had to reach back. He was about a step or two on the outfield turf, and he just reached back and picked it. Nice play by Jake Rumsovich. So 1 up, 1 down. Cole Dobbins bounced back to the pitcher and turned in a 1-6-3 double play. Hit in the air, the center fielder covering a lot of ground. Cut in front of the left fielder, and Ty Gonzalez makes the play, so 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning. Tristan DeVert flied out to the left fielder. And Blake made a nice catch over the shoulder in left field. Wide for a ball. The lights are on here at Frazier Field. I'm not sure we need them right now, but hit right back to the mound. Bobbled, plenty of time. So a quick 1-2-3 inning. First 1-2-3 inning of the game. So we finished 4 in this 13-year-old Babe Ruth contest. Danvers 4, Lynn nothing. We have a new pitcher. They just changed places. Dobbins, the catcher, goes to the mound. Awumi, the left-handed pitcher, goes behind the plate. So Awumi goes 4 innings, gives up 4 runs. One of them was earned. Swing and a miss. This is Aaron Rodgers, the first baseman. He popped to third, reached on an error, and scored. Swing and a miss. Oh, they said he got a piece. Would have been strike 3. Just got a tick. That was a swing and a miss. Jack L'Italian reached on error, popped to short. He's hit the ball to the shortstop twice. He's the catcher for Lynn. Oh, excuse me, for Danvers. That one drops in for a strike. So we get the left-handed catcher. That one bounced in. In for a strike. Evens the count at 2. The sun is just about below the trees, so we can now look to our left and not get blinded. They're coming out. Awumi is shaking that right hand. That's the glove hand. I didn't notice I know the ball was, yeah, it might hit, when we tried to backhand, it might hit above the glove around the wrist, or call it Martell, the center fielder, in. Looks like we might be having a change. So it's going to be Dylan Martell going behind the plate. And Arumi trying to shake that hand off. He's going to go to his third position. He's going to go to center field. So he was the starting pitcher. He started this inning as the catcher. That pitch in the dirt got a piece of him. He's trying to shake it off. Now he's in center field, and center fielder Martell is behind the plate. I mentioned Jack Italian has reached on error and popped to short, gone to the shortstop twice. Hit in the air into left center field for a base hit in the gap. Going to go all the way back to the fence. Around second. I don't know why he slid into third base. He could have gone in. I thought he might get a home run. Italian winds up with a triple. So Danvers is in a little running and scoring position here in the top of the fifth. David Branovich bounced to the pitcher, got hit by a pitch and scored. And Lynn brings the infield in. Missing inside for a ball. So Italian got all of that one. Line right to the shortstop. You can't hit any better than Abramovich just did. He hit it right on the nose. Like I always say, you get the good pitch, hit as high as you can, and hope you get lucky. He lined it right at the shortstop, Duvall. So 2 outs. In for a strike. Kenny Blake was called out on strikes and walked. His walk extended the inning in the third, and O'Keefe, the on-deck hitter, got a big 2-out single. Popped up off the glove of Martelli. He'd go a long way down the first base line to try and make that catch. He was chasing it down the first base line. So it's 0-2. Chop foul. Hit foul again off the hands. He just got a piece. Still 0-2. High for a ball. Hit in the air, another play for the shortstop. So Dobbins gets out of trouble. He gave up the 1-out triple, but then got a hit right on the nose, a line shot by the Italian right to the shortstop. And now a little soft pop-up. So they're getting a hit an inning. That time, the hit didn't bring anything in. We mentioned Wumi went 4 innings, gave up the 4 runs one of them was earned. He gave up 3 base hits, struck out 2, walked 3, and hit a batter. Dobbins comes in and gets out of trouble, giving up a triple. But it's getting late for Lynn. They got 3 hits in 4 innings. First hit wiped out in a double play. Second hit came with 2 outs. Third hit came with 1 out, but they haven't got a batter reach second base yet. And they're trailing 4-0. Danvers only has 4 hits. A big RBI double by Hobart and a big 2-out, 2 RBI single by O'Keefe. First one run was set up with a walk. He scored on the double. The others were set up with walks, errors, hit batsmen. And it was a walk just before O'Keefe got the 2-out hit. Jack Nardone struck out swinging his 1 trip. Chased that pitch, was way over his head. Abramovich got some help on that pitch. Stepping back, they'll have to throw him on at first base. But it's another strikeout. That was Jack Nardone. Jack Nardone was the hitter. Caleb Moran got a base hit. He's got 1 of 3. Swing and a miss. In for a strike. That was. This is a major leagues. They'd be questioning that. Swing and a miss. 2 quick strikeouts. Swinging. Bryson Jones, the extra hitter, was called out on strikes. High for a ball. Down and away for a ball. Swings through the pitch. Swing and a miss again. We got deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And he strikes out the side. He had 3 strikeouts in the first 4 innings. He strikes out the side, giving him 6 strikeouts. So he got as many in that inning as he got in the first 4. We're through 5 here at Frazier Field. Danvers leading Lynn 4-0. TJ O'Keefe is having a night. Walked and scored. Got a big 2-out hit, knocking in 2 runs. He's leading off the 6th inning for Danvers. Hits it foul to third base coach. He's facing Cole Dobbins for the first time, who came in relief of Awumi. That major league well pitch that was way inside. Dobbins had a duck underneath, and it was way over his head, off to the left, to the backstop. It kind of evens at 2. Hit the shot. And they throw him out at first base. They get him for the first time. Kelsey did a nice job of picking it. The coach they're leaving the runner at first base. So they're calling him safe. I thought Sukowski did a nice job of picking that ball at first base and coming off the bag. I thought he dropped it. But another error. So now Lynn has 5 errors. So O'Keefe is on for the 3rd time. He takes off, easily steals second base.
There's no out. There's no out. There's no out.
Tries to bunt, fouls it off. Fans are yelling. They put up. Initially, the umpire said out at first base. They put it up. Takes a little while to get the out off the board. Fans were screaming that there were no outs. They spun around. Good thing Dormans didn't throw the ball. There was nobody at second base, only the base runner. Squares the bunt, and they steal third. So they have another runner at third base. They had it the last inning with 1 out. Dobbins got out of it. Lynn brings the infield in. Down and in for a ball. Danvers has had all the base runners. Lynn has had 3 hits, and that's been it. And one of those hits was wiped out in a double play. Squared the bunt, takes the pitch for a strike. Hit right back to the pitcher. He bobbled it. He had it. Looked like he had it. Good job by Dobbins. But good base running by O'Keefe. He had to hold up because he thought it was caught by the pitcher. And he bobbled it. Dobbins did a good job trying to hold the runner at third. But when he threw it down, O'Keefe broke for the plate. He scores his 2nd run. Had Hobart double the right field, knocking in a run. Bounced out 2nd and 1st. He's the extra hitter. Missing inside. So the error hurt. Two walks have come around the score. The error is scored. There's a walk. A hit batsman has scored. An error has scored. So two reaching on errors have scored. Two reaching on walks have scored. One hit batsman has scored. Popped up to the shortstop, just a couple of steps to his left. Duvall makes the play. They get Contos out. This is Ethan Graham. Pitch hitting for the third baseman. Hits it foul to the backstop. Hit foul off the umpire's mask. That shook him up a little bit. Good morning, wake up. Gives himself a chance to shake it off. He goes out and hands the ball to Dobbins.
What's the count? I pressed the button. Is it 1-1?
Call third strike. But the error starting the inning hurts. They get another run, this time without a hit. And it's getting late. We're moving into the bottom of the sixth. Danvers has pushed the lead now to 5-0. And it'll be 8, 9, and 10. I just turned the lights on so we could see up here in the press box. Ben Zukowski, Nate Ranahan, Dylan Martell. The three scheduled hitters. And Abramovich has been giving another run to work with. Ethan Graham stays in at third base. High for a ball. Zukowski was called out on strikes his first trip. In for a strike. In for strike two. So he missed with the first two. Came right back with the next two. On the corner for strike 3. The last 4 outs have been strikeouts. He's got 7 in the game. Swing and a miss. Nate Ranahan got a base hit. He has 1 of 3 that Lynn has. Up and away for a ball. Way inside, he swung right through it. One, two, the count. Hit foul back. Swing and a miss. The beat goes on. Five in a row struck out. Phil Martel bounced into a fielder's choice. Hit the ball to short. Forced at second. Hit in the air. One bounce to the shortstop. And they throw it away at first base. So that'll end the string of strikeouts. Martel is the first base runner for Lynn to reach second base. Comes on the first error. They threw it into the turf. The error allows the base runner to reach. Curveball drops in nicely. So Martel is now the catcher, is the first base runner to reach second base. This is Dante Duval, who's popped to second and flied to left. He beat it for a base hit. First baseman went way too far to go get that ball. Should have let the second baseman make the play. He was going to make the play to the pitcher, but the pitcher couldn't get there either. Duval beat it for an infield hit. Anthony Oumi popped the single between the left fielder and shortstop in the first inning. Popped to short his last time up. He's played 3 different positions. He was the pitcher. He went in behind the plate for a portion of the 5th inning. And now he just taps a single in the center field. Lynn gets on the board. So the error, as it has done for Lynn quite often, the error hurts. Slowly hit, they're going to have to hurry. Nice play by the shortstop. Ron Savage was a nice play, good strong throw. They throw Dobbins out. But Lynn finally gets on the board, thanks to a Danvers error. The error came with 2 outs, and the error scored the run. But we're moving into the 7th inning. It's now 5-1 Danvers over Lynn. We start the 7th inning. Lynn's made a few changes. I just happened to pick them up. Blake Beaupre is at first base. J.J. Goodwin is in right field. Bryson Jones is at third base. And Jack Nardone is at second base. I don't know if they might have made a couple more. Ty Gonzalez is the hitter. He has reached on an error, walked and scored, fly to left. So it's top of the order for Danvers here in the 7th inning. Popped up. It's off the top of the Danvers dugout. Danvers well on their way to going 3-0. And this is going to put Lynn in a tough spot. They're going to be 1-2. They're having some warm-up action for Danvers. Chop foul. Down and in for a ball. Count goes full. Call third strike. Nice pitch by Dobbins. His third strikeout. Aaron Rodgers popped to third, reached on Irvin, scored, struck out swinging. His strikeout came against Dobbins. Hit to third. That's a tough play. They threw it way over the first baseman's head. He's going to keep going. He goes all the way to third. So he's got an infield hit. And then the error. The hit gets him at first base. They never would have got him at first with that long throw. But he goes all the way to third on the error. And Danvers got another runner at third base. 6 errors for Lynn. That's going to be a base hit. Italian gets his second hit. Last time up, he got a triple and got stranded. Now he gets a base hit and an RBI. So Lynn gets that, got a run. Danvers gets it back. Abramovich grounded a pitcher, got hit by a pitch. Line to the shortstop, hit it right on the nose and lined it right to Duvall. High and tight. Stolen base. Hit down the right field line. Foul. Just outside the foul line. Almost snuck one in. That's a major league wild pitch. The runner was going. He goes to third on the wild pitch. That wasn't anywhere near home plate. That was closest to the backstop on the fly. Another runner at third for Danvers. They've had a few. Lynn brings the infield in. Missing inside. Last time Italian was at third base with one out, he got stranded there. Hit the shot. They hold the runner. They throw the runner out at first, and then the run scores. Good base running by the Italian. Dobbins did the right thing. He froze the runner at third, but then it's a long throw to first base and a long throw from first base to home. And the Italian was able to score. So Danvers says, Lynn, you got one, we'll raise you one. We got two. Kenny Blake struck out, walked, popped a shot, reached on error, and scored. Up and away for a ball. And that's ball four. Second walk given up by Dobbins. Vincent Ramsdell will hit for O'Keefe. O'Keefe was perfect. On base 3 times. Walked, singled, reached on an error. He scored 2 and drove in 2. So he's a little more than half the offense. And the runner steals second base. So late in the game, Danvers has been running. They didn't do it early. Swing and a miss. Drop low for a ball. And that's called third strike. But Danvers gets 2 more. Helped out by a wild pitch and error. They get 2 hits. Dobbins strikes out 4, walks 2. The walks didn't hurt. Gave up 3 hits. Gave up 3 runs. One of them was earned. So Lynn down to the last 3 outs. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. Last gasp for Lynn as they trail it 7-1. Lynn is kind of giving this away with 6 errors. Tristan DeVert is the hitter. I thought they put Brian Jones in at third base, but DeVert is back hitting. He is flied out and bounced to the pitcher. Hit foul up in the seats. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2. Hit foul down that grassy knoll behind first base. Got a game going on down there. Count stays 2-2. Popped up. Shortstop. Couple of steps to his left. Romzovich makes the play. Swing and a miss. This is Jack Nadone, the right fielder. Has struck out twice. Good pitch on the corner, quickly 0-2. Chased that pitch way over his head. They're down to their last out. In for a strike. Taylor Moore has singled and struck out swinging. Inside, hit it to third base. He'll be safe on the error. Throw a little bit off in the turf. Extends the inning. For Bryson Jones, the extra hitter. He has struck out twice, once called, once swinging. That one goes to the backstop. In for a strike on the corner again. Popped up. And the catcher calls the pitcher off. Italian makes, that's a very nice defensive play. That's a good, that should be the pitcher's ball. So Ramos does a great job. Gives up 1 unearned run, strikes out 9, didn't walk a batter, gave up only 5 base hits. Danvers got a run in the second inning. T.J. O'Keefe drew a walk. With 2 outs, Hobart got a big double, knocking in the run to make it 1-0. Then in the third inning, after a strikeout, Gonzalez threw a walk. When they tried to pick him off, they threw it away. He made the third base. A ground ball thrown away. Gonzalez scored. Rogers reached. After an out, a hit batsman, a walk. The walk loaded the bases. T.J. O'Keefe came up with a big 2-out hit, knocking in 2 to make it 4-0. They made it 5-0 in the 6th inning. T.J. O'Keefe reached on an error, stole second, stole third, and scored on a ground ball back to the pitcher. Lynn got their only run with 2 outs. Martell reached second, the only runner to reach second. Only one of 2, I should say. Reached second on the error. Went to second on a hit by Duvall and scored on an RBI by Anthony Iwumi. Made it 6-1. Danvers got 2 more in the 7th. After a strikeout, Rogers got a base hit. The ball was thrown away. He went to third. An RBI single by L'Italian. He stole second, went to third in a wild pitch. Scored on a ground ball by Abramovich. Made it 7-1, and that was the final score. Abramovich again went the distance. Gave up only 5 base hits. Struck out 9, didn't walk a batter. Gave up 1 unearned run. For Danvers, Gonzalez had a walk, scored a run. Aaron Rodgers reached on an error, single, scored 2. L'Italian reached on an error, tripled, singled, had an RBI, scored a run. David Abramovich, the pitcher, doing a great job on the mound, got hit by a pitch, scored a run. His ground out got him an RBI. Kenny Blake walked, reached on an error. Kenny Blake walked. T.J. O'Keefe walked, had a big 2-out hit, and reached on an error. He scored 2 and knocked in 2. Tad Hobart had an RBI double along with a walk. Colby McLaughlin had a base hit. For Lynn, D'Anthony Duvall had a base hit. Iwumi had 2 base hits, knocked in the 1 run. Caleb Moran had a base hit. Nate Ranahan had a base hit. And that was it. 5 hits, 1 unearned run, 9 strikeouts for Abramovich. Danvers will go to 2-0. Lynn is in a tough spot. They're going to have to put a big winning streak together to try and get some points to get to the state final. They dropped to 1-2. So Danvers with a big win, outstanding performance on the mound by David Abramovich with 9 strikeouts and no earned runs. 7-1 Danvers over Lynn in this 13-year-old Babe Ruth pool play. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.